You're watching Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Schultz here with you. Thanks for joining us. The run to the playoffs is on. Your Seattle Seahawks trying to claim a division title. What's it going to take to do so? We will break down the remaining schedule. We'll take a look at the playoff odds, courtesy of The Athletic, and also how the Seahawks compare to their rivals in their pursuit of the postseason. We'll go over all of that in just a matter of moments. Before we do, if you want the Seahawks to win the NFC West, like the video, don't jinx it. If we get 500 likes on today's video, that pretty much guarantees the Seahawks are going to be winning the division crown. So, don't make me confine you because you didn't like today's video. Just do your part. Hit that like button. We'll get started on today's show. The playoff path for Seattle, it is extremely competitive. And let's put it this way, folks. It looks a lot better for the Seahawks right now than it did 3 weeks ago at the bye week, as the Seahawks are currently on that 3-game winning streak. Currently, the NFC playoff picture, if the postseason were to begin today, the Seahawks would have the number 3 seed in the NFC at 7-5 and would be playing the Green Bay Packers in the wild card round. But there's not a whole lot of room for error, as you can see with Arizona at 6-6. You got San Francisco at 5-7. The Rams at 6-6 as well. And based on the way this is shaping out at this point here, folks, I think that the best path for Seattle is going to be just straight up win the division at this point with where those other 3 teams are at in the wild card race. You look at the division standings. Seattle at 7-5. Arizona and Los Angeles each at 6-6, and the Niners at 5-7 at this point. What we've seen from those 3 teams in the wild card race, the Vikings and Packers feel like they're in a good spot. The Commanders, with that 8-5 record, have a 1-game edge over Seattle because they've played more games. But at this point, I think you're focused on the division. And then if that doesn't work out, then we'll see where that in the wild card race. But your best path is still taking care of business, winning the division, and getting that home game of the wild card round. The folks at The Athletic have their playoff predictor, which simulates a lot of models based on where Seattle is at and how the rest of the season looks. And right now, The Athletic has Seattle with a 42% chance to make the postseason. The last time we showed you these numbers a couple weeks ago, the Athletic was projecting Seattle to have about an 11% chance to make the postseason. So their numbers have dramatically jumped up, but they're still at better odds at this point in time to miss the postseason than make it. Their chances of winning the NFC West a little bit lower at 38%. And if you go even further, their chances of earning a first-round bye, that would be getting the top seed in the NFC, less than 1%, basically impossible. The Athletic doesn't think that they have much of a chance to get to the divisional round. That would obviously mean making the playoffs and winning their wild card game, about a 1% chance right now. But we've seen these numbers change a lot just in the last couple of weeks, so we'll see where things go from here. You look at what's ahead for Seattle. This is the percentage chance that the Athletic gives the Seahawks of winning their final 5 remaining games. The game against the Cardinals this week, Seattle has about a 45% chance. The game against Green Bay next week at home on Sunday Night Football, about a 46% chance. The Vikings matchup, it's a coin flip game, a pick'em, right at 50% chance to win that matchup. The road game against the Bears the day after Christmas currently is at 51%. And then the road game against the Rams on Week 18 is currently at 48%. So of those 5 games, the Seahawks, according to The Athletic, are only favored to win one of their final 5 games. Obviously, it's a pick'em in that matchup with the Minnesota Vikings. But you can see the odds are stacked against the Seahawks. You can use the old cliche, the old adage, nobody believes in us. Everyone's counting us out, because that's what the numbers say, at least where things stand right now. So let's ask you now, who wins the NFC West? Will it be the Seahawks? Will it be the Cardinals? Will it be the Rams? Or will the Niners pull something out of their ass? Type C for Seahawks, type ARI for Arizona, LAR for Los Angeles, SF for San Francisco. Get your predictions in now and let us know who you think wins the NFC West. Before we go any further in today's show, let's tell you about our sponsor. That is PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. Choose 2 or more players on any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points in football, rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey. Football is a big deal this time of year with PrizePicks, folks, as we get towards the end of the regular season in pro football. Also, you got playoff football around the corner in college football. I'm looking ahead to this weekend. I got JSN to have more than 63.5 receiving yards. He's done that in at least the last 4 games. So I think he can keep that going. Also going with Trey McBride of Arizona to have less than 64.5 receiving yards. I don't think he's going to have much of a day. If I put $20 down, that could turn into $60 on PrizePicks. And PrizePicks is giving you $50 to spend for free when you play $5. You don't even have to win to get the money. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. PrizePicks, proud partner of Seattle Seahawks Today. Glad to have them on board here on today's show. So, how does Seattle stack up with the rest of the NFC West according to the Athletics playoff predictor? We mentioned earlier the Seahawks had about a 38% chance to make the postseason. That is the best of any team in the division, according to the Athletic. The Cardinals at 33%, the Rams at 22%, and the Niners down, but not completely out right now at 7%. Now, one of the things that we've seen a lot of people talk about with this Seahawks team is that, hey, they've been just kind of lucky that they aren't a serious football team. How good are the Seahawks actually? And the numbers, according to The Athletic right now, say that the Seahawks offense is worth about 22 points per game, 21.8 to be exact. The defense is worth about 21.3 points per game, which has a differential of 0.5. So there's not much margin for error, as we've seen in the Seahawks games, of what they have to work with, the differential between offense and defense at this point. The Athletic is currently projecting the Seahawks to have a 9-8 record at this point in time. And the next closest team, the Arizona Cardinals, to also have a 9-8 record. And when you think about this, we showed you earlier that the Athletic gives the Cardinals the advantage this week. That means, based on their projections, you split the season series, and then you're going into all sorts of tiebreaker scenarios from there. Basically, folks, when you look at this week's game between Seattle and Arizona, it's real simple. You win this week, you're in the driver's seat for the division. All of a sudden, you get some breathing room, and then you have the head-to-head advantage over Arizona by winning both of those games. That's how important this matchup is with the Arizona Cardinals, of not only just winning and gaining more ground, trying to pull away in the standings, but also having that head-to-head tiebreaker advantage over Arizona as well on that front. Who do you got? You going with the Seahawks or are you going with the Cardinals on Sunday? Get your predictions in. Type S for Seahawks, C for Cardinals. Weigh in. Let us know who you think is going to get it done this weekend. We will be live here on Seahawks Today for Seahawks and Cardinals coming up this Sunday afternoon. Our coverage begins at 1 o'clock Pacific time. I'll be here. Big Tex will be here. And hopefully you will be here as well. Subscribe now. Turn on notifications. Don't miss out. Seahawks Cardinals Watch Party live right here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now for free. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. All right, let's compare the Seahawks' remaining games to the rest of the division. It is a tough stretch ahead for this Seahawks team. It is tougher than, I think, for the Cardinals or for the LA Rams, for that matter. Here's the upcoming schedule for the Seahawks. You got the Cardinals this week. You got the Packers on Sunday Night Football. I think the Packers are a legit team that could very well win the NFC. You got the Vikings, and then you play the Bears, and then the Rams as well to close out. None of those games are a given of those 5 games. You can lose any of them. It is going to be a dogfight over these next few weeks. You look at the Cardinals situation, and they have a much easier path than Seattle does in these final 5 games that they have ahead to finish out the season. They take on Seattle. Then they face the lowly New England Patriots at home. Then they face the lowly Carolina Panthers on the road. They get the Rams on the road the week after that, and then the Niners, who I expect to be well out of contention by that point in time. You'd much rather be in the Cardinals' position than you would be in the Seahawks' position when it comes to schedule. The Rams, meanwhile, with an outside chance to win the division compared to those two teams, I honestly think they're going to be done pretty much after this week, that their season is going to be over. I expect them to lose to the Bills. It's America's Game of the Week on Fox. I think that the Bills are going to handle them and take care of business as the Bills try to pursue home field advantage in the AFC. Then you take on the Niners on Thursday Night Football. You get the Jets on the road. You take on the Cardinals, and then you wrap up things with Seattle here. For the Rams, I think you got a loss there, but then the rest of them, we'll see what happens there. Getting the Jets, who knows if they'll even be playing Aaron Rodgers at that point by the time it's all said and done when they get to that December 22nd game on the road there against New York. But the schedule, I think of these teams, Seattle's in the toughest position at this point with what they have remaining compared to everybody else at this point in time. So let's ask you, predict the score. Who wins, Seahawks and Cardinals? We asked you earlier who you like. What's the final score going to be? Way in the comment section, let us know what you think. If you enjoyed today's show, like the video. We certainly would appreciate it. I'm Tyler Jones. We'll see you next time right here on Seahawks Today.